Recently, I went back to play some Eyes of Heaven after realizing just how many characters were being ported over from that game to All-Star Battle R, and one of the characters that caught my attention immediately was Alternate World Diego. The reason why he caught my attention right away was because I remembered a lot of people were saying that they prefer a character like that over someone like Part 4 Jotaro. And in this video, I want to take a look at his moveset and see if it could actually translate well over to a 2D fighting game, or if he deserves to stay in something like Eyes of Heaven. So when it comes to the normals, I actually think that Alternate World Diego has enough to fill up a standing moveset. However, I'm not too sure about crouching, because in a lot of the animations in this game, like, he just doesn't crouch whenever he does any of his moves. For his 5L, I could totally see it being the first hit of his square combo, and then the follow-up square attack being his 5M, and the last square attack being his 5H, the one where the world comes out and kind of does like this little chopping animation. I think that could actually be the string, like 5L, 5M, 5H, right there. His square, square, square. I think that's what it could be. In his square triangle animation, he actually calls out the world, and it does a slightly different overhead chop, right? And it causes a hard knockdown in Eyes of Heaven. I could totally see that being a 6H or a 4H like animation. And it would work kind of like how Jotaro's 6H used to work, the one that got removed in ASBR. That move used to cause a hard knockdown leading to like his time stop setups. I could totally see it working like that if they decide to add that into this game. He also has square square triangle, which is a almost universal launcher in Eyes of Heaven. And I remember when I put out that Trish video, I was unsure about whether something like that could actually make it into ASBR. But after playing the beta and seeing the kind of juggle combos that Dio and Jotaro were doing, especially Jotaro with his 3H, I could totally see them adding that as its own command normal or a special move that he could like juggle after if you PC, or you just, you could just make it jump cancelable and he could actually do air combos. However, for air normals, it does get a lot tougher to decide on what could be what, because he only has 2 square presses in the air before the air combo just ends, and then his jumping triangle is just the knife toss, which he has while he's on his horse, and is his grounded triangle as well. So now it becomes a lot harder to decide on what could be light, medium, and heavy, since he only has 2 normals in the air outside of knife. But if we really want to try to make it work, light and medium, light could just be like the standard knife slice he does in the air. Medium could be the sideways world chop that he does, which is the second square press, and then the heavy could just be the knives that he does in the air. Because, like I said, there's nothing else that he really does in the air in this game. Alternate World Diego's grounded normals are actually both projectiles. So if you just tap triangle, he throws knives just like how he does in his jumping triangle. However, if you hold triangle, he pulls out a revolver and shoots you. And the revolver, it's kind of funny. You could actually dash cancel it in Eyes of Heaven and then just like shoot the revolver over and over and over again. And the revolver does a ton of damage, right? I don't think they would ever translate that over to ASBR, because the game really doesn't have dash canceling like that. But I could totally see them adding in the revolver as its own either command normal or as a special move, because I mean, even Valentine has a gun. So I mean, if they gave Valentine a gun, they could totally just give Alternate World Diego a gun. Whether it be a command normal or a special move, it's completely up to them, but either way, like, they could both work. So Alternate World Diego's normals when he's on the horse are actually, they're weird, because he shares normals with Scary Monsters Diego whenever he gets on the horse, but then he can actually call out the world whenever you do like square triangle or square square triangle. He calls out the world, but honestly, I don't see enough to warrant, like, its own moveset. Like, they need to give him like crouching normals. They need to give him a lot of normals while he's on the horse in order to actually like fulfill an entire moveset. And again, like, when he's on the horse, he could actually shoot the revolver and still dash cancel it, and his standing triangle is the knives. It's literally the exact same. From the Japanese ASBR website, we actually do know that Diego is going to be a mounted character, and his HHA is actually going to be him transforming into the dinosaur, which that's what I thought his standing S was going to be. It would work kind of like Vanilla Ice. That's what I thought it was going to be at first glance. But the fact that he's now a mounted character actually tells me that CC2 might have actually went in and given him new normals. Now, if they want to add alternate Diego to this game, I could totally see them doing the exact same thing for him. Because in Eyes of Heaven, his normals when he's on the horse are limited, and yeah, if they really wanted to, they could just give him more normals, because they're already doing it for Scary Monsters Diego. So this next part is actually Diego's special moves, and this is actually when it gets a lot more interesting, because alternate Diego has completely new special moves when compared to Scary Monsters, right? And I'm not counting him getting on the horse as a special move, because it is in Eyes of Heaven, but it won't be in ASBR. His unique special moves are him throwing gasoline, him throwing matches, him putting up some barbed wire, and the time stop. Now, the way that I could see the matches and the gasoline working in ASBR, right? I could totally see them working like Kira or Kosaku's bombs. Kosaku and Kira both have these special moves where they put a bomb on you, and then your character now has this little glow on them, and what that means is that now your body is a bomb. So whenever your body's a bomb, you're at risk of the Kira or Kosaku player detonating it with a unique special move, and then the attack is actually an unblockable. I can see the gasoline in matches working exactly like that, where alternate Diego throws some gasoline on you and now your body's covered in gasoline for a couple seconds. Then after that, you could throw the matches and it'll either hit on the same frame that it touches the opponent and it'll be an unblockable, or it could work like Guilty Gear Testament, where Testament can put this status effect on you, and if Testament hits you, then you detonate after a couple seconds and then you get a big combo. I think it could work just like that, and I think that would actually be super sick, because honestly I can't really think of another way that it could work. Maybe you could douse the ground with the gasoline and then throw it on the floor, and then now there's like some fire on the floor, but honestly I think the other way that I just mentioned is way cooler than that. The barbed wire trap would actually have no trouble fitting into All-Star Battle R, because we already have moves like Koichi's Boing Trap and Kakyoin's Tower Fan Green traps that serve a very similar function. They're just like normal traps, and with the way that the trap works in Eyes of Heaven, it would honestly have no trouble translating over to All-Star Battle R. The one thing that I do find interesting about the trap in Eyes of Heaven though is that you could actually do square into EX trap and it actually combos, like it crumples the opponent. I think that could actually be pretty cool if they decide to translate that over to All-Star Battle R, you know, make it a trap but also make it something that you can combo into for a little combo extender. Because if you just look at Diego's moveset right now, it's very projectile heavy and not very combo heavy. That's the one unfortunate part about the alternate Diego's moveset, is that it's very hard to find really cool combo extenders since it's mostly just projectile zoning and traps. That's pretty much it. Time stop is going to work exactly like all the other time stops in the game, where you're going to need a certain amount of bar to activate it. It's going to have a lot of startup. However, this one's going to be different because of this animation and this animation alone. Like, this is way too cool to pass up. We need to see this in All-Star Battle R. After playing more alternate world Diego in Eyes of Heaven, I'm honestly not too sure if I could say that he warrants his own character slot in the ASBR Season Pass. Because could he work as his own playable character? Yes, like he has more than enough special moves, normals, supers, time stop, dual combo attacks, and animations to warrant it, but I just don't think that he should make it in over a lot of other characters, especially completely original characters. Like, after playing Foo Fighters at Anime Expo, it genuinely changed my mind about what I expect from this game and its roster. But yeah, those are my thoughts on alternate world Diego and how I think his moveset could translate over to All-Star Battle R. But let me ask you guys this: do you guys genuinely think that he deserves a slot in the roster? And let me know why. I had a lot of fun putting together this video, so a like would be appreciated. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't already. And I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.